Right, how's everyone doing? Good, I hope. I'm going to do a comparison between the Games Atari Flashback Portable and the Atari Blaze retro handheld console. Now, well, I'm going to tell you the pros and cons of each handheld. So now, if you're asking my opinion, uh, if which one should I get? If you only have the money to get one of them, which one should you get? Should you get the Atari Flashback Portable made by Yak Games, or should you get the Atari retro handheld made by Blaze? Well, the Atari Flashback Portable is the better out of the two. If you had the money to only get one, would get the Atari Flashback Portable, because the games run great on it. There's no problem with the emulation of the games, and you have all the buttons you need to play the games. You can change the difficulty. You can change how hard it is, and it has all the right buttons. Just like the 2600, you have to have difficulty switches, and you have to have game difficulty. You know what I mean? You have to have game modes and stuff like that. It has all the buttons you need. Plus the screen is bright and colourful. Like I said, there's no problem with the emulation of the games. And it has an SD card slot which will have the entire library of Atari 2600 games. But it has a rechargeable battery, so you don't have to get batteries. And it's chargeable. It comes with a cable. And it comes with an AV cable, so you can connect this to a television and you can play games on a big screen television. So, in my opinion, out of the two of them, the Atari Flashback Portable is the best one to get. Now, this is 2017 model, and this is the box from 2016. This one has 60 built-in games, whereas this one has 70 built-in games with Pac-Man, Galaxian, Dig Dug. This has a bunch of Namco games, but like I said, you should get yourself an SD card with all the games, and you have the whole library of games. Plus, you can connect it to your television and play it that way. So yeah, it has a power switch on the bottom, and it comes with an AV cable, like I said. So it has all the right buttons, so you can change the difficulty of the games and stuff like that. Now, people complain about At Games when it comes to making these Atari Flashback Portables, but for me personally, I have no problem. The games run fine, for what you're getting. We've got no problem with it. Like I said, the games run fine. They have all the D-pad is pretty cool. People complain about the sound, but I think it's good enough. And if you have headphones, you can just plug in headphones, and so there. I mean, I think At Games have done a great job here, in my opinion. It would have been nice if they put some wood on it, like Blaze did. But really, out of the two, if you have the money, get the Atari Flashback Portable. You can get it from Argos, you can get it from eBay, Amazon. It's about €80 to €90, and I say they're probably cheaper now. But I paid €80 for mine, and I got the SD card separately, and I got the games on it separately. But I got the SD card from eBay for only for €5. So for €90, you have the whole library of games, and like I said, it has all the buttons you need. You can go back to the main menu, you can pause the game. So it just has, and just like when the thing is charging, if the data flash red, and it lets you know that the battery's nearly dead, and you have to charge it, and you plug in the yoke there, and that lights up green telling you that it's fully charged, it's ready to use. So that lets you know that this one lights up. It tells you that it's running out of battery, and when you're charging it, that will it knocks off, if you know what I mean, and it's fully charged, So yeah, the Atari Blaze has 60 built-in games. This is the Pac-Man edition. This one has 5 built-in Atari 7800 games, which is cool. This one doesn't have any 7800 games, but like I said, you could probably get them and put them on the SD card if you wanted to. But this has 5 built-in Atari 7800 games, and it has 55 Atari 2600 games. Now it looks sweet, I have to say, with the wood grain and everything else, but look at, there's not enough buttons. You can't change the difficulty of the games and stuff like that. So for games like Asteroids, you can't make the the fucking UFO comes on screen. That doesn't happen because you can't change the difficulty. So a bunch of games you can't play all the difficulties, which is a shame. One thing I noticed, the stuff is starting to fade. You see the white lettering and stuff like that. So this just seems to be more cheaply made by Atari. Now this is cheaper. This is only €30, so it's still good enough for the money. And this has a micro SD card slot, so you can add games if you want to. Now this takes 4 AAA batteries, so that's the downside. It doesn't come with a rechargeable battery like the Yak games that have flashback portable. So that's a negative in my opinion. But like I said, it is a lot cheaper, and so yeah. And I think they should have coloured that white, the Atari logo. Like I said, I think I just get the feeling with this that it was cheaply made and in a hurry just to get it out there, to make money, So now, in my opinion, the games run a lot slower, than the flashback portable. They're a lot more choppy, and the sound effects and music is more high pitched or something. So, in my opinion, the emulation of the games on this is not as good as the Yak games that have flashback portable, in my opinion. But it does connect to a television. But for some reason, I tried connecting the AV cable to it, and it wouldn't work. So I don't know what the story is there. But it has headphones and everything. But it just seems more cheap. It looks nice, I have to say. That's why I got it. But apart from that, it's just not as good as the Yak games that have flashback portable. Even though this is a lot cheaper. This is only €30. This one's like 70, but this is far more worth it in my opinion. Like I said, there's not enough buttons. You can't change the difficulty of the games, and it's just, see, it's starting to fade. So all the writing, Blaze made this, so and the D-pad is a bit sort of finicky at times, and that's the select button, power button and stuff. Yeah, and if you want to get back to the main menu, you have to hold down the 2 buttons at the same time. So yeah, I just want to make a quick video about that. That's the box art and stuff like that. So in my opinion, out of the 2, if would get the Atari flashback portable by Yak games, in my opinion. So yeah, I hope this helps people out. If people are out there deciding which one should I get, in my opinion, you should get the Yak games Atari flashback portable. If you want to play all the games with the right amount of buttons and stuff like that, it has a rechargeable battery, and it comes with an AV cable that can connect it to a television. Yeah, it's 70, 80 quid, but it's worth it. And get an SD card, and you can put as many games as you want onto it, Whereas this just seems cheap. It's a lot cheaper. But that's about it. So yeah, I hope everyone has a great day, and bye bye.